In this example, I'm going to use the same Tilly where we've isolated her head. I've made a new layer above her body so that I can isolate her head. And this time we're going to use a different transform tool. And this is similar to the rotate tool, but it allows you to do different things. What I'm going to do is do the same thing that I did before, which was to make a copy of the middle head. So duplicate the layer. And this one I'm going to call small. And I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to duplicate that one again also because I'm going to make a small and large one. So I'm going to duplicate that layer again. And this one I'm going to call big. And now I'm going to move big below the middle head layer, the normal head layer. So now I'm going to select the small head and I'm going to go up to Edit, Transform, Scale. You could also use Control T. Now you can see the rotation is still showing because I have this checked here, and that's fine for this. It doesn't really matter. But this time I want to shrink her head, and I want to shrink her head from the middle. So I'm going to click up here in the upper right corner and get that double arrowhead that's straight, not curved, because curved will make it rotate. So now if I click that and I make it smaller, it's going to move the head to the left, and that's not really what I want it to do. So I'm going to undo that by doing Command Z, and instead when I click on the corner here, I'm going to hold the Option key to make it scale from the center. So I'm just going to scale it down like that. And then I'm going to move her head back on her neck here. I might make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to hold the Option key in. So this is the small head. And now I can click Return to enter that. And I can also move it around again if I want to. I can just click the Move tool over here on the upper left on the toolbar. Now I'm going to turn that head off. Now I'm going to go to the big head. I'm also going to turn off middle head too. So those two heads are turned off. And now I'm going to select the big head. And I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to go the other way. So I'm going to click and get that straight line double arrow. I'm going to hold the Option key, and this time I'm going to make her head big, maybe like that. And I'm going to click Enter for that. Now, we do have a little bit of a problem in that now we don't see the end of her pigtail there. We have to do something else, which is to make the canvas, meaning that background, a little bit bigger. And to do that, go up to Image and go down to canvas size. Remember, this is the background, so that area that has the checkers on it. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. Now we have pixels selected here, so that's fine. And if we look here, we want to make it, but maybe a little bit taller. So I might change that to 340. And then the width, I'm going to make that one 400. And I'm going to click OK and see if that works. Now that's actually a little too big. Let's go back to Image and select canvas size again, but this time we're going to make the width maybe 360. And it might do something like this, but we'll just make it smaller. So there we go. And that looks pretty good. We can check how this looks by turning the eyeballs on and off to kind of see where the head fits on her neck. Turn off all the eyeballs except for the middle, meaning the one that's proportional to her body. And we already have a frame down here that represents that. Remember, the frame represents what you see here on your file. So I'm going to click the duplicate button. And this time I'm going to turn on the small head and turn off the middle head. Then I'm going to select this frame, the one where she's proportioned, and I'm going to duplicate that, but then I'm going to click it and bring it over again in front of the one where she has the small head. And I can click through these to see how it's working. And then I'm going to duplicate this one again, but this time I'm going to turn off the middle and I'm going to turn on the big head. And so now if we play this, this is what we get. So that's another way to use the transformation tools. And again, I'm going to save this as a Photoshop file, and then I'm going to export it as a JPEG.